Your best, the good night for your career best game. Talk about it.
Well, the line was blocking great for one, and we had some great play calling. And, this was a big one. I knew I had to have a big game. Well, the running game had to be good, and, I just stepped up and made some plays and made sure, we get this win because it was very well needed.
Is this the best you felt since you got hurt, Robert? I mean, are you feeling 100% healthy now?
Yeah, I've been 100% the last 3 games, and my season hasn't gone the way I wanted it to, but, I wanted to end with a bang. And I know there's a lot at stake these last couple games, so I played as hard as I could.
Can you compare, last year, Arkansas State seemed like they were so much bigger physically and there defensively. Were y'all doing something different to get through them today, or what was happening?
Well, we were running the stretch play a lot. We were stretching them out, making vertical cuts happen. That's what the stretch play does. And it was there all night, and we kept calling it. We stayed with what was working. So,
Robert, I heard you after the game on the bench talking. I think I heard you talking to some of your teammates saying, "We're going bowling. We're going bowling." How much of that was a motivation leading up to this week, and how much during the game was thinking about getting bowl eligible? A motivation for this team.
Well, I feel like last week we let that game go, and we knew we needed these last 2 to even have a chance, and we needed the 6th one to even be bowl eligible. So the game started out good, and we felt like we had some things going, so we just put our foot on their throat and kept playing.
Robert, after the fumble, obviously it was a mix-up between you. You kind of picked up a bad snap. Were you more determined to make things happen after that fumble?
Yeah, I was kind of mad at myself because I picked it. It was a bad snap. Then I picked it up and I tried to create something, and it happened to come out again. And the defense got a good stop, and they really bailed us out right there. So I just told them, if y'all get this stop, we're gonna go back down there and score for y'all.
CJ, a couple of times you got out in the open field, and it seemed like guys were closing in, but you were able to pull away from them. Do you feel like when you're in the open field like that, there's no one that's going to catch you in those situations?
I try to have that attitude, try to have somewhat of a confidence that I feel like I go out there every night, feel like not being unstoppable. But I just took advantage of all the opportunities that I was given tonight.
So who does win a race between you and Terrence Franks?
Oh, we haven't. I give it to T Franks. He got it. Yeah, he's pretty fast.
Robert, CJ's a couple of plays there on that one drive in the second quarter. CJ had a good run, good catch, and then a good run to set your touchdown up. Talk about, that was really the touchdown that sprang y'all away from him a little bit. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was a great job. CJ is a spark to the offense. He can catch the ball, run the ball, and he set us up real good. When you got a player like that, you got to keep the ball in his hand, and I just ran it in.
Robert, how long do you guys allow yourself to enjoy this before the reality sets back in of just because you're bowl eligible doesn't mean that you get to go to a bowl, and then we have to take care of business and make sure we get next week and not let that slip away?
Well, we'll be here tomorrow afternoon, looking at the next team, Georgia State. And, this is a great win. We can celebrate it tonight, but tomorrow, we got to get it done because this win without the next win means nothing really.
Do you think this is a kind of a program-defining win after last year, against some of the top teams in the Sun Belt, coming up a little bit short, to be able to come back this second year and finally be, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league?
Definitely. I feel like we're making steps every year. And if we continue to get better and continue to build confidence and know that we are a good team, we can compete in the Sun Belt, it's going to just get better for us.
How satisfying was that last touchdown that kind of killed any chance they had of coming back? Were you surprised it broke open so easily?
Well, they were blitzing that whole little drive we had. They were bringing the backers in the gaps, and coach made a good play. He caught a draw, and I hit it out the backside, and that felt great. That was a great feeling. That was the best feeling I had this season. So to know that I put the game away, so to speak.
Offense, defense, special teams, it seemed like you put together the complete game at the perfect time in the season. Is that how you felt about the way all 3 phases played tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Kicking game is very important because it's it puts the ball in the right space for the offense to go score, and sometimes it can put their offense back on the line, on the goal line. So, field advantage is a big thing. And when we had that big kickoff return, that really was a spark, and it was easy for us to go score.
With it being senior night, did you feel like you owed it to have your best performance to end the season's career on a good note?
Definitely. We talked about that all week. Playing for our seniors. They were the beginners of the change here at Texas State. So, we gotta give a lot of credit to them, and we played our hearts out for them.
David, defensively, the last 2 or 3 weeks, it seems like it's starting to click a little bit. Has there been something that maybe has happened in the last 2 or 3 weeks that sort of contributed to that in any way?
I think we just kept working. As the season gone on, last year, we lost our last three games, and I think we're more focused this year. And I think as a defense, we were focused on just keep getting better. No matter what happens, every day at practice, you got to focus on your, your assignments and your footwork and fundamentals. I think we just kept getting better every week, so we just laid it out there tonight.
David, short week, fast-paced offense. How deep did y'all have to dig in that fourth quarter to make sure that they didn't come back?
Yeah, it was tough. They ran a really fast-paced offense. I'm proud of my guys. They all sucked it up, and we just found a way. And our offense was, doing a great job tonight, which helped us out as a defense. Just as a team, we all played great, and just couldn't be prouder of my teammates.
David, you mentioned losing 3 straight last year to finish the year, and you saw what happened when you're bowl eligible, but you're 6-6 as a Sun Belt team. You guys knew you had to have this game. How meaningful is it to go out and get it?
Yeah, we were pretty desperate for this win, and we super focused. Our practices were great all week, even though we had a quick turnaround. We realized that, and we had a tough loss last week, but we had a quick turnaround, and our guys were able to just put that away and focus on the next game. We knew the task at hand was to be a really tough team, Arkansas State, but we believed we can do it, and we worked towards that.
Some emotion out there being your last home game?
Always, yeah. But this being, the deciding factor of, being able to go to a bowl game, I think was more important to a lot of guys. The seniors want to go out in the last year playing a bowl game, and it's only better that tonight was senior night. Couldn't be more thankful.
David, all the close games you guys have played, just finally like a cap coming off of a bottle. Y'all finally got it all together for one night. Did you feel like that was going on out there?
Yeah, we were playing great in all three phases of the game, and like I said, I think it was just team focus, knowing that we had a quick turnaround, being able to forget last week's game, and just everybody getting better this week and really studying the film because we had to do it quick, and we just played our hearts out tonight.
David, how important is it for this team to come back down to earth quickly? And as you mentioned, even though you're bowl eligible, you don't want to be bowl eligible at just 6-6. You want to leave them the chance and get that last one against Georgia State. So how important is it for this team to come back down to earth and kind of put tonight behind them and get ready for the next one?
I think it's just as critical as last week. You can't get too high and you can't get too low. And like I said about last year, I think it was a great learning experience for this team. I don't think we forgot it. So this game is going to be just as important against Georgia State that it was against Arkansas State. So we got to have that mentality, recover this weekend. We got a little extra time and just study the film and get after them.
Any other questions? When y'all, I can't remember who I was talking to, but in his last conversation with the entire team, it was brought to my attention that Dr. Gish had said, of everything, just bring me back a bowl game, and last year y'all weren't able to do that. How meaningful is it that now y'all are bowl eligible and y'all are, more likely to go to bowl with a second win?
There's a lot of people we're doing this for. Gish is definitely one of them. He means a lot to us. He has a special spot in all of our hearts. He loved this team. He would do anything for this team. So that is definitely a huge part for us. We want to go to a bowl game for him. We want to go to a bowl game for the seniors. We want to go to a bowl game for everybody on this team.